All right, we are live. Hey, Jordan, how's it going, man? How you doing? There's going to be about a 15-second delay, so I apologize, but y'all know the drill. You've been on plenty of live streams. See, we got 2 so far. Ethan, how's it going, man? Jordan, I'm doing great. Fantastic. I got new bike day on the way here. That's what y'all are here for, to help me pick out parts for this awesome guy. So excited for the night. Gonna wait a little bit. Give people some time to settle in. Awesome. Great. I did a lot of practice with this rig to make sure I got it right. So I'm really stoked for this. Hopefully I'll be able to do some live streams in the future. Just, talking to you guys, Q&A, talking about cameras, bikes, all that fun stuff. Off-road outfitter. Awesome. Great. All right. So, questions for y'all. Did you guys get to ride this week? Any sweet trails that you discovered? Or, fails that we've all experienced before where we bit off more than we could chew? The wait between questions is always awkward. Hey, Gene. How's it going, man? Like that video you just put up, by the way, the 5 top tips for camera angles. Some really sweet angles there. Mount Elbert. Whew, that's some elevation, man. Your lungs must have been burning. Just got back from a ride. Where'd you go, Jordan? Yeah, I bet so. All right. Miller's Pond. Awesome. Yeah, there's so much awesome single track on the East Coast, man. I'm jealous. I grew up in New Hampshire, actually. I was there till I was like 16. I went around on a GT Ricochet, a 98. That was my very first real bike. That was an awesome surprise present from my dad. All right, guys. So, I think we have enough people here. You guys are a good, trusted group, and there's plenty more on the way, I'm sure, once people, finish up their meals, help put their kids to bed, all that fun stuff. Amherst, nice. Yeah, New Hampshire is a great place to grow up, man. It's, really rural, a lot of great stuff, and then you got Boston right down the road, like a 2 or 3 hour ride, but it's there. But, yeah, so we got this guy. What's up with this? We should probably take a closer look at it so you guys can get a better idea about what we're working with here. I don't know how I'm going to move the camera over there, but oh, you know what? I have an idea. Hang on, let me try something here. There's always got to be one little hiccup on a live stream. Sorry about that. I muted my microphones that way you couldn't hear me. Uh, sorry about that, guys. Anyways, so yeah, Gene. There we go. All right, yeah. Sorry about that, guys. Had the mic on mute. Anyways, Gene, like I was saying, yeah, this is kind of a dream build. I've always had a soft spot for hardtails. Like Seth and all the other guys have said, if you can do something on a hardtail, you can do it on anything. So they're great, versatile bikes. They're not just for cheap economy builds. Which, by the way, I'm still looking forward to seeing your hardtail build. That's going to be interesting. Been excited to see that. All right, so let's get on to the main order of business. So, first question to you guys. You've probably seen the video that I put up where I put the RockShox on my Yeti and the Fox has just kind of been sitting in the corner. So, first question to you guys. Do you think that I should put the Fox 34 onto this guy, or do you think I should put it back on the Yeti and move the RockShox Yari over to the Chromag? The fork, the Fox fork is actually lighter than the Yari, which is going to be great for the Yeti because that's my daily driver. And that means that's the one that I'm going to be wearing my backpack with. So as many pounds as I can shave off that bike is going to be excellent. So let me know what your thoughts are on that. Hey, MTB Droppin', what's up, man? Glad you can make it. What you got going on tonight? Catching up on paperwork? There's always a lot of that in the public sector, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm excited to see your bike, Gene, man. Hey, Nate, how's it going, man? Glad you can make it. So yeah, what do you guys think? What do you think? The Fox or the Yari? What kind of riding am I going to do on this? Oof. So that's a great question. Let me pull up something real quick. Let's look at the specs of this hardtail. To answer your question more directly, I'm going to be doing a lot of different types of riding on this. So let's pull up the website here. All right, there we go. So this is the bike when it's built up from Chromag, and this guy is pretty beast bike. It's got 65-degree head angle, 75-degree seat tube, so it's really steep. No, Jordan, that is not a silly question. Color coordination is a big deal. Tonight we're going to be looking at a lot of the fun components, the derailleur, brakes, and all the fancy stuff. But we might look at some other components that'll be a little bit more cosmetic. I'm going to try to keep this live stream about 30 minutes. I don't want to go too far over there unless we get a good conversation going. Thanks, MTB Drop-In. Yeah, I spent a lot of time getting this thing tweaked. Nate is saying the Yari. Nate, I won't lie, I'm kind of agreeing with you. This bike might actually be traveling with me. One of the big reasons why I wanted to go back to a hardtail is you can throw those things around. Steel is real, man. So putting the Yari on there, I can pretty much huck anything that I need to. Quite honestly, if my legs can't take the impact, I can't take the impact. So let's see. You have the 34 on your hardtail and the RockShox on. What kind of RockShox do you have? Is it a 35 millimeter stanchion, the Yari, the Lyric? What you got there, Off-Road Outfitter? I'm interested. I'm open for input. By the way, the beverage tonight is Lone Star Pint, Yellow Rose. This is a local Texas brew, and it is excellent. If you're ever in Texas and you see one of these bottles, don't hesitate. It's a very nice IPA. Just rode the Slash with the Yari, and it's just as good as the Pike. Yeah, the Yari is basically the Pike's little brother. So, if you're looking to save money somewhere and you have a choice between the Yari and the Pike, there's nothing wrong with the Yari. If you can afford the Pike, go for it. 150 millimeter travel. That's actually what both of the Yari and the Fox 34 are set at right now. 150. This guy can take up to a 160, but I'm doing a little bit steeper of a head angle by 150 millimeter traveling. The fork, that word was hard. So that's kind of where I'm leaning towards. So final vote, y'all. Do you think that I should put the Yari onto the RockShot, or put the Yari onto the Rootdown? Local IPAs, yes. Yes. Hey, man. Cheers. But I will say I am leaning towards putting the Yari on it. Yari, color coordination, Yari. Well, color coordination is tricky because I have some ideas for that, but that's going to be after the live stream. That's going to be some conversations that I have with some people. All right, so we're on agreement. The Yari is going on to the Chromag. Done deal. Fox 34 is going to be going on to the Yeti, back where it belongs. But I'm probably going to get one of the MRP ramp controls for that as well. Okay, everyone's agreeance. Awesome. All right, so let's get to some fun stuff. So I have a list here, a list of parts to buy. Let's pull up the first one. So this probably won't be the one that I'm going towards, but my question to y'all is, I've been running XT on the Yeti for quite a while, and I really enjoy SRAM also as a drivetrain, but I haven't used any of their newer stuff. So, you know, what do y'all think? Should I stick with XT Shimano, put that on the Chromag, or give SRAM a try? Probably not going to go with the X1. I think that's a little bit too much for my needs. Also, this is a consumable. I'm pretty bad at banging up my rear derailleur. Yes, MTB drop-in. Sorry, I need to pay better attention to the chat, you guys. I'm sorry. Yes, I did say that is a really sweet looking fork. I mean, I wish I could put it on there, and also I wish I had the money for a new fork. Shimano's cheaper and just as good. Yeah, you know, I won't lie. I'm pretty happy with the XT on my Yeti. As long as you have the money, go with SRAM. So I do have off-roader. I can't afford an Eagle right now, even the GX. Part of the reason is it's kind of a dumb reason, but bear with me. So this bike can take 29ers and 27 plus. Now, hold up, 1 second. I kind of cheated on you guys, and I got a wheel set built up by Fanatic Bikes. This is a Hope Pro 4 hub on Ibis 938 rims and just regular old spokes. But this is a 29er wheel, and give you that sweet. Oh, yeah. So my idea is to be able to use both wheel sets, be able to swap back and forth whenever I want. So the question of rear hub comes into play. So for the Eagle, I need to go XD, which is not a big deal for the Hopes. That's like maybe a $30 part. But the 27 wheel set that I have cannot be converted to XD. So I wanted to stay with the Shimano brand hubs. So that's kind of why I'm looking at the X1 and not the Eagle. But actually, here's what I'm really looking at. The GX. This is pretty much what I'm actually going to be going for. So let me catch up with what happened in the chat. Let's go SRAM. Shimano, they are, I won't lie, that's Shimano, Ethan. I put that XT derailleur through a lot. I pretty much have to straighten out the hanger at least once a month because I go through a lot of rock gardens here in Austin. XT XTR, GX Eagle. Nice, Gene. Nice. I'm a little bit jealous of you, man. I wish I had the money for an Eagle, but I just can't afford it right now. Never used if you want it. I appreciate that, Nate. I really do. But I actually have an XT cassette that's been sitting in the bin for a while, and I'll probably just use that. But good looking out, man. That's cool. Gene, no, my office is not clean. It's called making sure that everything that I want out of frame is out of frame. Don't look this way. Don't look this way. Look right here. So off-roader, have you ever had any problems with your SRAM? I run X9 SRAM on my rear derailleur on my road bike, and I mean, it's crisp. So I don't know. It's a tough question. It's very controversial, man. Everyone has their brand and they stick with it. I'm a little bit more impartial. I like to try both things. That's kind of the other reason why I'm thinking about going SRAM. I want to be able to test both brands and be able to give an honest opinion. So what you think? Seems to munch. The gear is under power. So you're saying that with the GX, it kind of doesn't really do well under load. Is that what you're saying, Nate? Sorry, just moving stuff around. Yeah, Jordan, that's kind of the idea. Try both brands. I got the chance. Yeah, Nate. I don't know. I mean, technically you're not supposed to shift under load, but everyone knows that goes right out the window, when you're riding a trail blind. Sticking with SRAM. Man, the room is split tonight. Okay, so final vote, SRAM or Shimano. Just post it right in there, SRAM or Shimano. Off-roader likes SRAM. So let's see. I'm interested to see what you guys say. Like I said, this is a hot topic here. So Daniel says Shimano. Who's gonna vote SRAM? I'm interested. Ooh, I'm seeing a bias. I am seeing a bias. Not a bad bias. I'm saying that, the room obviously is leaning one way. SRAM clutch. I think Shimano's winning. All right. I guess I'm going XT. It's not a bad thing. I mean, right now it's kind of great as a consumer. You have two really good options. Yeah, Jordan, that's a good question. DI2. Nate, just turn it up to 11, man. Just go for it. Live hard. I like it, Nate. I like it. Okay, so Shimano it is. Shimano is going on to the Chromag. So I guess that's it. Daniel, yes, that is on my laundry list of things to try out, the E13 cassette. That looks amazing. I really like gear ratios on that. But we're spending a lot of time on derailleur. Let's move on. So we've concluded that we're going to put Shimano on there. So let's see. Next up is brakes. So we got three options. Two brands. So first off, I've been asking a lot of people about this, the TRP. This is the higher end spec, the Quadium, I believe is how you pronounce it. I tried to double check before the live stream so I didn't sound like an idiot. But this guy is a 4-pot hydraulic brake, loads of modulation according to Phil and the rest of the internet. Um, Nice outfitter. Yeah. By the way, this is not sponsored by Worldwide Cyclery. I just found it more easy to locate parts on their website, so I just pulled it up ahead of time. Anyways, so this offers a lot of modulation. It's a little bit more expensive. Proprietary brake pads, which kind of turned me off a little bit because if I'm out traveling, it's really easy to find Shimano brake pads. TRP, I'm going to have to make sure I have a little bit in my back pocket. The next option is the tried and true Shimano XT. Going for the drivetrain, maybe I should go with XTs as well. I have these on my Yeti. I know that they're very binary for a lot of people, but I'm pretty good with brake control. Off-road, yeah, nice. Yes, GX Equal on the stump jumper. That's going to be a great combination. Cash is trying to get... Cash, hey, thanks for joining the stream, man. That's awesome. Get your boss into trail riding since he just started exercising by riding a bike. He's in Florida. Hey, there you go, man. That's a great place to start learning. As Seth proved, there's plenty of trails around there. Not sponsored yet. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I kind of like being a free agent sometimes. I get to pick and choose, but at the same time, I would take it as a compliment for Worldwide Cyclery to want to sponsor me, and I would definitely give them the time of day, so to speak. Anyways, and then lastly, on the Shimano, we have the Zs, which are kind of going to be going up against the G-Spec. So... you may be asking why isn't Hope on here since I got Hope hubs. I really hate dot fluid. I just don't like working with it. I don't think there's that big of a benefit if you're not like a super elite athlete. Have I ever heard of SQ Lab 612s? No, I have not. I have not. Here, let me kind of get these lined up a little bit better. Can I do this? Maybe. I don't know. Hold up. I'm trying to multitask. Live streaming is harder than it looks. It is harder than it looks. That's good enough. All right. Love XT. Nate is a fan of XT. TRP looks great. Yep. BKXE had problems with its XT brakes in Switzerland. Good to know. I mean, they run mineral oil, and that's one of the reasons why Hope went with DOT, and also SRAM did because of high and low temperature abilities. Let's see. SRAM. Gene, yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I've just seen so many problems with them from Biker and a bunch of other people. I just couldn't go with it, man. Daniel, is 4-pot overkill for the bike? So in Austin, yes. I will not lie. 4-pot is definitely overkill. We don't exactly have a lot of elevation loss here. But this bike is probably going to travel sooner or later. I'm going to be taking it to California, Bellingham, other places where that 4-pot will actually come in handy. You know, the steel bike is just easier to deal with. I don't have to worry about a carbon frame getting crushed or anything. I know a good bag takes care of that, but I'm paranoid. So the steel is probably going to be the one I take around. Also, hey, it's kind of fun to, you know, take a hardtail around and catch up with people who are on full suspensions. Oh, that's a saddle, not brakes. Okay. Eugene agrees with Daniel. Unless you're very fat and love going very fast. Yeah, I'm not a racer, and I weigh like $185-ish, depending on how much beer I had. You like the guide brakes a lot, off-roader. Yeah, all right. Okay, so what do you guys think? I mean, I know SRAM is still an option, and I'm sure I'm just being biased. I love SRAM for their shocks, you know, the Rock Shock, And I really still think their drivetrains are awesome. But their brakes, I don't know. I just don't want to be going down a hill and wonder either if they're going to work or have to listen to them the whole way. I've never had noise on my XTs that weren't caused by my own issues where I didn't clean the rotors very well. So what do you guys think? TRP, Shimano Z, or the XTs? I'm partial to the TRPs. They've gotten a lot of good press. Minus the whole proprietary brake pads, I'll just have to make sure that I have a lot of them. Nate, you really like the guides. All right, we got 1 vote for TRP. Cash is all about the Shimanos. Cash, which Shimanos are you running? You running the Z or the XTs? I'm curious. Okay, Jordan's talking the XTs. So, SLX and XTs. Yeah, that's a nice thing about Shimano's. They basically make one part body, more or less, and then just kind of add or remove things as you go up and down the line. Like the SLXs are basically the same as XTs, just with less adjustable features on them. Yeah, Nate, the SRAM guides are a little expensive, especially for the higher end ones. They get really pricey. All right. Excuse me, guys. Yes, actually, Cash, you did bring up a good point. And by chance, I have an SLX shifter here. And one thing I love about the XTs over the SLX is that when you're going down the cassette or up the cassette, I can't remember which direction. On the XT, you can press this and it clicks twice. The SLX only click once. So Gene, I actually kind of have. So there's called the, hang on, let me see if I can Google it real quick. The TRP Hydros. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce it. Hydros or something like that. Bring this over here. I have those on my adventure road bike. They're cable operated, but they are hydraulically actuated. So best or worst of both worlds, depending on what you're talking about. I really like these, though. I don't think I would recommend them for people who... It's kind of, if you have to ask, you probably don't need them or want them. Either go full fluid or go cable brakes. Because those can be a little bit tricky to set up. 732. No, you're not late, man. I was going to go for a half hour, but you know what? This is taking longer than I thought, so we're just going to keep going. MTB Drop-In does have a point. The bike is getting built to get beat up. So XTs, the parts are plentiful. It's reasonably inexpensive, and brake pads are easy to find. Let's see. Seven through two, I am putting a dropper post on it. We'll get to that in a second. I don't know. I'm not exactly stoked with what I have right now, so I'll talk to you about that in a minute. But, all right. So, it sounds like everyone's kind of leaning Shimano. I think we have 2 votes. So, go ahead, put in there TRP or put in XT or Z, whichever you find more interesting. So, TRP or XT or Z. I'm curious. I am not off-roader. I am going to be here in Austin. Ooh, a lot of votes for XT. Not bad breaks, though. Not bad breaks. Let's see. Is anyone going to be a wild card there? Throw in something else? Give you guys a minute to respond. This is really fun, by the way. I hope it's fun for you. It is it for me. This is really fun. XTs. I think the group has spoken. According to this, we have 17 people watching. Nice. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. That's pretty cool. All right, XTs won. You know what? I'm not disappointed. The TRPs are definitely going to stay on the Christmas list. How much beer is left in my glass? Yes, Jordan. Gene, yeah, I have to be careful about the reviews, though, man. It seems like I do a review and everyone just buys it. That is too much power for one person. I want to make sure that I keep y'all's trust. I was really nervous when everyone went crazy and bought the Stuntman chest harness because I was sitting there, I'm like, man, I hope people really like it because I'm going to feel like a jerk if they don't. All right. We got one vote. One vote for TMP or TRP. 2 votes, kind of. All right. XT it is. XTs have won the day yet again. So be getting another shiny pair of those. All right. Let's see. What else do I have? Okay. So dropper post. Here's the thing. So I'm trying to save some money somewhere because contrary to what it might look like, I don't have unlimited funds. So I am trying to build this with some old parts that I still have. So this is a X-Fusion high-low straight. This I bought used. It's been pretty good. It is about 150 mils of travel, which should be plenty for this bike. It's a little bit old though. Not as fast as my Fox Transfer. Unfortunately, I did not act on the 2017 closeout sales for a lot of those Fox droppers because I would have bought one of those and sold this. Because, man, they were going for a steal. You could get those things for a steal. They were great. Anyone who got a 2017 closeout deal, I am envious. So, yeah, that's what's going on this. I will say if this guy gives me trouble, I probably will be looking at getting a Fox Transfer. I love that dropper post. It is bomb-proof. I know because I've dumped that bike more than I show in my videos. And it's wicked fast. Gene, thanks for dropping in, man. That was really cool of you. I appreciate the votes. And have a good night, man. See you next time. PNW makes a great 150 dropper. PNW. What is that? Let's Google that. Let's see. Let's use the power of the internet to find out what this is. PNW droppers. I'm actually doing pretty good on time. Is this? Yeah, I think that's it. That is not my diameter though, but mountain bike droppers, that looks about right. That would be my size. You don't have to spend a fortune to get rad. Developed in Seattle, nice. Pacific Northwest, that makes sense. I figured that's where it was. And also the Mount Rainier reference, that should have given it away. Spin stop technology. Looks cool. I might have to look into this. Thanks for the input. Definitely. Man, really? 150? Okay, that's better. I was about to say, like, wow, that's really inexpensive. Cool. All right. Definitely going to have to look into this. All right, guys. Let's see. What else? What else? So I'm going to tell you what other components I'm looking at. I'm probably going to get this saddle. 300 on Amazon. Okay, I'll definitely have to look into that. That's not bad for a dropper. I mean, a new dropper that's not on sale. That's not bad at all. This is probably the saddle that I'm going to get. It doesn't exactly match anything from color scheme, but I really dig this. And this is actually one of the parts, and I'm pretty sure it's okay for me to talk about this because Alex talked about it last night in his live stream. Alex is doing kind of a deal for Patreon members on his site where there's a website, Adventuron. He's kind of put together a little bit of a part list, his favorite buys, and he's going to try to hook up the Patreons with really deep discounts. So like I said, this video isn't sponsored by anyone in particular. I'm going to be looking at this. Yeah, I've heard great things about this. I know that leather saddles are kind of, yeah, they're love it or hate it because you have to break them in. They're not like regular saddles. You have to ride them a few times and really get that leather broken in. And then once it's in, it feels awesome. Yes, I really think that this is going to give that bike a rugged look. Yeah, I think that's going to be fun. So hopefully the discount on this, because that's a lot to spend on a seat. So I'm looking at this if it's still a little bit too expensive because I do have a budget. And I'm pretty sure my girlfriend is watching this live stream and judging me heavily on the components that I put up on the screen. I might have to look at something a little bit more generic. What's the imprint on the top? Actually, it's not an eagle. It's kind of Chromag's logo, the two bears. So let me see if I can pull up. Did I already throw away the Chromag? Hang on. Yeah, so it's basically this on the saddle. So that's, it looks like an eagle from the angle. Eagle from the angle. Anyways. Show us your video again. Yeah, okay. You guys want to see the video again? Okay, I'll tell you what. Let me finish up one more thing and we'll show the video again, just for the people who have just joined on. I'm also looking at these pedals. Deity pedals. Probably either going to get the red or the blue. I'm always partial to white because they go well with anything, but red or blue, I'm going to be careful about the cosmetics because you can overdo it with color matching. The blue with the leather is going to look awesome. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's going to be good. All right. So, let's see. Do I want to show the video? I'll show the video again. And then we'll do kind of like a quick QA since we're over on time anyways, and you guys seem to be cool with hanging out. So let me get something set up. Left full. Boom. And enjoy. don't know who hadn't seen that. Who was a little bit late to live stream? Which, by the way, I did that a couple days ago. I finally got a slider for my camera and felt like playing around. So, and thanks, Nate, by the way. I really appreciate that. It's definitely a labor of love going out and filming all this stuff, but it keeps me sane with my day job. MTV drop-in, a lot of practice. I basically set up a separate account, completely segregated from this, so that way I could practice without looking like an idiot. And I'm not ripping on anyone who, learns on the fly with their live stream. Not at all. If anything, I admire the people that just go headfirst into it and just figure it out as they go, because you're putting yourself out there for the internet, and that takes a lot more bravery than making sure every last little thing is ready. Yeah, Jordan, the slider's awesome. I really like it. I'm sorry, Cash. I'll play it one more time before we go, or you can go back. I think twice is good, but you'll be able to watch it. Just go back and watch the live stream after it posts. MTV drop-in, how much should what cost? Because you're asking a kind of a loaded question there. The slider, you could get a GoPro with that money. So that should give you an idea. Oscar nominated version of Bike Check. Trying to compile Blender. Why is it so hard? Compile it. Man, well, first off, you're on Linux or Unix, whatever distribution you're using, Cache. There's your first problem. Just giving you a hard time, man. So with that, does anyone have any questions for me? I've never really gotten to sit down and, have you guys directly ask me questions. I try to answer stuff in the comments as much as I can, but sometimes it gets a little off topic from the video. So yeah, feel free, ask questions. I'll try to answer them as succinctly as possible. I know I can ramble. Biker has found that out the hard way when he asked me questions about video. So yeah, this 15-second delay sucks though, man. TRP, we got a late vote for TRP. How do I handle the heat? That's actually a really good question, Cash. Sometimes you don't. I mean, sometimes it's literally just not safe to ride. Once it get past 110, I really need to want to ride, and then I pick the trails very carefully. Top things, hydrate the day before you go riding if you think you're going to want to go riding. Make sure that you try to pick a time of day that's the best. Either go early in the morning, which I don't because I'm not a morning person. Go late in the evening. Pick trails that are easy to bail out of. Don't get stuck in the middle of nowhere when it's so hot. That's a very dangerous situation. Heat stroke can creep on you really fast. Pick shaded trails. Bring plenty of water. Take lots of breaks. And listen to your body. Don't let your ego talk. Tell your ego to go shut up. Listen to your body. If your body's telling you to walk or go home, go home. Just call it good. I've had plenty of rides where I overdid it. It took me 3 days to recover from heat stroke. It's not fun. How's the SB5 Plus? How many pedal strikes? Good question. So I didn't have a lot of pedal strikes on the SB5 Plus, and the short answer is I still love it, but I definitely wouldn't recommend it to everyone. You have to be very interested in plus size tires, and you want a bike that is more about riding all day than riding hard. Pedal strikes were kind of a problem because the cranks that were on it are actually these race face effects. These are 175s, which is kind of long for a plus size bike. I put 165 mil cranks on there, and that helped a lot with pedal strikes. So these cranks are actually going to be going onto the Chromag because it has a little bit better bottom bracket clearance, and it doesn't have the rear sag that I have to contend with. Favorite trail? Here in Austin, I would have to say Wookiee Way at Pace Bend Park is currently my favorite trail because it has a little bit of everything. It's super technical. It's got some good flow. It's nice and shaded. And Pace Bend Park is just a really awesome area in general. What's on deck for the channel aside from the Chromag build? Another great question. You guys are really knocking out these questions, man. So what's on deck? I do want to start doing more camera related stuff. I am surprised and kind of humbled by how many questions I get offline about camera gear, editing, all that stuff. And you know what? I love answering them. It's not a bother. But I will say that I get a lot of the same questions because y'all aren't coordinating behind the scenes before you ask me questions. Just give me crap. Everyone asks a lot of the same questions, and I figure I should do videos to help people out so that way they can have a direct resource. Because I really do want to help people out because I enjoy not only watching your stuff, but watching you guys like grow as channels. Like I'm such a big channel. But no, like I get entertainment from you guys just like you get entertainment from me. And so wherever I can help, I like to help. I'm not above helping out someone, whether they got 2 subscribers or 2 million subscribers, though I haven't met anyone who would talk to me with that many subscribers. But anyway, so that's kind of what's on docket. And then reviews, I kind of went through a big spurt and I want to take a break from them. Like I said, it's a little bit dangerous. People seem to jump on things that I review, so I want to make sure that I don't become that guy that just reviews too much. I don't want my channel to become that. So more trail videos are coming down the line, and I do have some other ideas that I'm feeling out. Hopefully that answers your question. I don't want to go too farther in than that. Cash, I'm an American. You can't use centigrade, man. We don't use the metric system. We're like the only country, though. And I was homeschooled. I can't do math. Oh, you did it right there. If I read ahead, I think that's 94 degrees Fahrenheit, 104. It is weird for Canada. You guys have been really dry up in Canada, man. I'm starting to get worried, with the forest fires and everything. Yeah, you got to be careful. Especially in Florida, it's really humid. Yeah, the trails up in Canada are still amazing, man. I would love to get up to Canada sometime, so don't threaten me with invites like that, man, because I might take you up on it. Jordan wants camera-related contact. What inspired me to make mountain bike videos? Yes, Jordan, not reading ahead. I have ADD, just like the rest of America. So, JJ Productions, what inspired me to make mountain bike videos? So, I kind of talked about this with the video with no front brakes and I. Back when I was a kid, I really got into playing around with filming stuff and then editing as I got older. And I was fortunate enough to be able to get a system that I could actually edit on. It was a Mac G3, I think, and we had a DV camera that I could hook up over Firewire. Anyways, what inspired me? So about 4 years ago, actually almost 5 now, I moved to Austin and I started working out because new job, new life, new city, all that fun stuff. And I hurt my back really bad. Like my whole left leg went numb because of the pinched nerve. Long story short, I recovered, but I couldn't really work out. Like for a while there, I was basically going to work, sitting in a chair, miserable, and then going home and laying down because my back hurt too much. And I started watching YouTube as kind of a mental escape. And I started finding Seth and Alex and Brian and all these other people that were making these really awesome videos. And it basically got me thinking, like, you know what? I don't want this to be my life. I don't want to be laying in a bed feeling sorry for myself. And I rode bikes as a kid. And so I was like, all right, I need a low impact sport So I'll go buy an entry-level bike. And I went and bought it, and I rode a trail, and I kept riding, and my back didn't hurt, and I got better, and I got a bigger bike, and I kept riding. And then my love for mountain biking, you know, came back again. And then I was like seeing everything that Seth and Alex and all those other guys were doing. And I was like, hey, you know, I used to do this for fun. Why not give it a try? So I made the video of me building up the Salsa Via, which was like the very first video I uploaded on this channel. And I got a lot of positive impact from it. And so I kept doing it. And one thing led to another. And now we're here. That was a long explanation. I hope I didn't bore you, but I hope that answered your question. How did you learn to edit? So well. Okay, I'm going to answer this question very quickly because I don't want to ramble on because we're almost getting to an hour. Long story short, trial and error. In art, I use that term just as the best definition I can. In art, the old saying, you know, good artists copy, great artists steal. So I basically would watch movies and I would see what they would do and I would try to recreate it. And eventually I just started figuring out how they would do certain things. And then on top of that, I would read books. This is before YouTube. And then when YouTube came around, I just started watching tutorials. And I mean, some of those tutorials are boring because they're not flashy. They get into the nitty-gritty. But if you watch them, they will teach you a lot of great features of, you know, Premiere and Final Cut, and you can learn a lot of great stuff. So tutorials and just practice. Try something new. If you see something in a video, even if you don't upload it to the internet, grab your camera, film something, and try to do it in your editor. You're going to find the limitations of your software, but I'll tell you what, that actually pushes you harder to get more creative. Anyone can go buy a Red camera, build a fancy computer, and buy Final Cut Pro or, you know, Adobe Premiere and have all the resources, but the people that have to really work to make that shot creative, successful, and basically work on screen, those are the people that learn the most. So let's see. Go for it. I'll take you to... Nice. All right. Any more questions, man? People, ladies and gentlemen. We're about on a full hour. It's been a great time. I'm going to go steal the shot where you walk. Oh, you mean when I was out in Bellingham, Cash? How I did that? Have I ever ridden out east? Well, technically, when I was a teenager, yes. My dad got me a 98 GT Ricochet as my first real bike. Like, I had Walmart bikes. Like, I was super proud of this crappy Walmart steel ugly thing that was like decked out as a police bike. And I used to go goof around pulling my friends over on my bike, you know, as like I think I was like maybe 10, 12 or something like that. But the 98 GT Ricochet was my first real bike. And so I grew up in New Hampshire and I rode a bunch of trails around there. So yeah. Yeah, Cash. Yeah, I definitely challenge you to figure out how I did it. And I'm not like doing it like as an egotistical thing. I'm saying like, think about how I made that shot work. You know, look at how did I color grade it? Did I do something to the aspect ratio or the lens, either in post or on the camera itself? You know, it's a different mindset to get into when you're trying to figure out how someone did something. You know, you're basically, instead of looking at the shot, you're thinking behind the camera. Like, what were they doing behind the camera and what did they do in post to get that shot to work? No, off-roader, I don't make it up there. I really want to start traveling, though. Work has been crazy, and I just started my fall semester of school, I'm getting a degree in communication. I just started, so I have a ways to go. So that's going to be a time and money suck. So I'm having my fun while I can. Do it, Cash. Reverse engineer that stuff. I'll tell you what. I'll give you a hint. Go to YouTube and look for travel feels. And then basically try to find a video that teaches you how to fix the fisheye lens issue of GoPros. And that'll get you about 50% to how I created that shot. The rest is easy. Six-hour drive. Yeah, I really need to just stop being lazy. What's the biggest advantage to building your own bike versus buying one already built? Money is a reason, but how much do you save? Actually, building a bike is more expensive than buying one off the rack any day of the week. I don't care how much you eBay snipe, look for deals. Either your bike's going to take forever to build and those parts that you bought 3 months ago are now cheaper, or you're going to get fed up and just go crazy buying stuff. Building a bike is always more expensive. Buying a pre-built bike that's a good frame with lower spec components and just riding the crap out of it, that's the way to go. Because you can either sell those parts, just do straight takeoffs, or ride them until they break and then go buy better parts. And that's the way I would do it. The only reason I'm building this bike is because I've been riding long enough that I kind of know what I like. And two, I really like geeking out. I've always loved working on my own stuff. So I hope that answered your question. Yeah, always buy a pre-built bike. That's what I did with the Yeti. It saved so much money. I would have gone broke trying to build a comparable Yeti from scratch. Yeah, unless you break the frame or it breaks you. I'm pretty sure I'm going to break before my Yeti breaks. At least I hope so. Because you're going to see me ugly cry on film if I break that Yeti. Because that bike needs to last a while. That wasn't a dream. It was a dream bike because it was my first full suspension bike that I bought. I borrowed my dad's Cannondale full suspension. It was a Super V900. If you want to Google that, it was very interesting. That was my first full suspension bike. But yeah, you're going to see me ugly cry if I break that bike. All right. Any other questions? We are about straight up on the hour. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not talking cheap bikes. I'm talking like, so Kona is a great example. Like the Kona Process 135. You can get the base model spec or you can get the high-end spec. The frame is the same, except for the new 2018 carbon. That's different, but the alloy frames are the same geometry, same materials. It's just different components. Who disliked this? You know what's funny, Nate? So I noticed someone disliked it before the live stream started. Jordan, thanks for joining, man. I really appreciate it. Yeah, it's late. It's getting late for me. I'm wicked tired. I think you can notice. But yeah, definitely thanks for joining. Kenny, it is going to be both, actually. It's going to be primarily a 29er. I'll show them one more time. I have a set of custom built Hope Pro 4 Ibis rim 938 with Maxxis minions. I have DHR on the rear and DHF on the front accordingly. So those are going to be the main wheel set, but since it can do 27 plus, I'm going to borrow the wheels from my Yeti to go have fun in rock gardens. Yeah, Cash. That was built up by Fanatic Bike. and they did a great job. Their website is amazing. You basically just go through and you can pick all the parts, tells you if it's in stock, gives you an ETA, you pay your money. I got those things in under a week. It was crazy. I was super stoked to get those. Spokes. Yeah, the spokes are actually just kind of, I think they're the regular DT Swiss. They're not double butted or anything like that. But yeah, I was really digging the chrome on black. It's going to go sweet with that blue and red finish. No worries, Kenny, man. We are about to wrap up, though. So any last minute questions, guys? Otherwise, I think I'm going to go ahead and close this out. By the way, thanks for everyone. Thanks for all the input. Thanks for showing up, the comments. It was great. This has been a successful first live stream as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, I'll probably do more of these. Might do some camera Q&As. Might do some editing Q&As. Might build the bike up live. We'll see. We'll see. It's always fun to film things. Let's see. When choosing a dropper post, the shorter you are, the less travel distance you need to consider, correct? Yes and no. Yes, you are correct. But you also need to take into account how tall the seat tube is, which is this guy right here. Different manufacturers like to put on taller or shorter seat tubes and need to take that into account. Like with this bike, 150 millimeter dropper, no problem. On my Yeti, I have to use a 100 mil dropper because the seat tube is so freaking tall. That's my biggest complaint with the Yeti so far, is that they built that bike really tall for the amount of reach it has. So it's more tall than it is long, which makes it hard to fit. How can you contact me? So you can either hit me up over email. The email address is on my YouTube account. If you go to the About section and click the I'm Not a Robot, that is a good way to contact me. That's good for longer correspondence because I can actually sit down on a computer and type stuff out. If you have a quick question, I'm always up to answer them on Instagram. I might not get to them right away. It's not that I'm ignoring you. It's just that I'm really busy right now. I fit in a lot of stuff in between work and school, so editing usually happens late. Cut the seat tube. Man, I am tempted. Tell you what, if I knew some people here that could work on carbon, I would. I've seen the Worldwide Cycler, you guys cut down their seat tube on the Yeti, and it was, yeah, I would do it. Thanks for the memories. Cash, you are a character. Thank you for showing up to the live stream. All right. No. No, Cash, you cannot have my phone number. But you are welcome to hit me up over Instagram or Facebook. I also have a Facebook or email. Try to keep the questions short though, guys. I don't always have time to get really long-winded explanations in. But all right. Thanks everyone for joining. This has been an awesome live stream. I think I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off here just to make sure. Nate, yeah, I love the smaller groups. It's so great. I have no idea how Seth does his live streams. Those things, questions just fly by. It's insane. What's the meaning of life? Beer, bikes, and a really good dog. That's the meaning of life. If you have 3 of those, and an awesome girlfriend that puts up with your crap, those 4 things, that's the meaning of life. All right, guys. Thanks again for joining. It has been awesome. I hope to see you soon. And yeah, go out there, find your next adventure. Until next time, guys.